Welcome to the deep dive. If you thought the pace of AI innovation felt fast last week, well,
Yeah,
last 7 days felt like we jumped straight into the driver's seat of a rocket ship.
it really did.
I mean, we just processed a week so volatile that the crown for large language model supremacy has literally been swapping hands in days. The speed it's just dizzying.
It's been a maximalist week for sure, for development, for deployment. I think the takeaway from all the material you shared is just the sheer velocity.
Right.
That coupled with this massive collision of technical progress and financial reality.
Absolutely. And our mission today is to distill this chaos for you. We're going to isolate and examine 3 core tension points defining the industry right now.
Okay.
First, the unbelievably fast-shifting benchmarks for model supremacy. It's a brutal head-to-head battle. Second, the explosion of new specialized developer tools and this whole move toward agentic automation.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And finally, the massive, looming financial and ethical reality checks that are just slamming into the entire industry.
And we have some blockbuster details coming up. We're going to cover exactly why the price of RAM is soaring over 100%.
Which should concern anyone buying a new laptop or gaming console.
Absolutely. Plus, we found out which massive CEO, you're talking Salesforce, a huge enterprise user publicly ditched ChatGPT for a rival model.
And this one is sobering.
Very. We'll explain the scary new reality of the first documented state-sponsored AI-powered cyber espionage campaign.
Okay, let's unpack this dizzying world. Let's start with the constant shifting of the leaderboard.
Yeah, the head-to-head competition right now is just, it's brutal. And it highlights how quickly perceived leaders can get displaced.
In hours, even.
Literally hours. This is no longer a slow marathon. It's an all-out sprint.
So we start with Anthropic. Their Claude Opus 4.5 didn't just arrive, it arrived with a clear tactical advantage.
Right. It was cheaper than its predecessor and demonstrably stronger. Posted top results on the SWE-bench.
And that detail about SWE-bench is really key, isn't it?
It's critical. For those unfamiliar, SWE-bench isn't just a general knowledge test. It specifically evaluates a model's ability to, autonomously fix bugs and implement changes in real-world software projects.
So it's about practical, hands-on work.
Exactly. When a model displaces a rival at the top of that benchmark, it means it's just better at agentic coding. By being cheaper and better, Anthropic puts serious economic pressure on incumbents like Gemini 3 Pro.
Which it temporarily displaced.
Exactly.
That makes me wonder about OpenAI's strategic defense. I mean, how did they respond to this?
Well, it was sort of a multi-pronged approach. The general sentiment among expert coders still holds that, fully upgraded GPT-5 is superb for foundational coding. But they also rolled out GPT 5.1 Codex Max, which is aimed at next-level automation pipelines. But the most interesting detail was their internal monitoring system.
The LLM Council.
The LM Council, yeah.
That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. Are we saying they built an AI to judge which AI is the best?
Precisely. It's an internal AI-based judging test. Essentially, they use their own systems to evaluate output, quality, speed, consistency across a huge range of tasks.
And what did their council find?
According to their internal results, it found GPT 5.1 was consistently superior to its rivals.
But isn't an internal test, isn't that inherently biased? If you build the AI and you set the criteria for the judge, how reliable is that for the rest of us?
That raises a critical question, and it's a huge tension point in the industry right now.
Okay.
Trust versus performance.
Okay.
But circling back to external real-world adoption, the momentum shifted dramatically this week thanks to Google and Gemini.
Absolutely. The biggest headline was Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff. He called Gemini 3 a monumental shift.
A huge, very public endorsement.
And he officially switched his internal systems from ChatGPT. He was praising its reasoning and its native multimedia abilities.
And that signals trust.
Yeah.
Trust for critical enterprise work. The market definitely noticed. Alphabet stocks surged more than 5% after that.
Yeah.
It just proves these LLM wars are instantly tied to billions in market cap.
So what's Gemini's core strength then?
It's really emerging as a great explainer and science communicator, but they're also making huge moves in trust.
How so?
They're focusing on features like SynthID. Since Gemini 3 is multimodal, it handles images and video, it can apply this deep digital watermark for deepfake detection.
So you know where an image came from?
The moment an AI generates an image, it can be marked to prove its origin. That feature alone provides a level of digital certainty that enterprises require.
That distinction between performance and trust is fascinating. But if you thought this was just a battle between the titans, you'd be dead wrong.
Oh, completely. The mid-sized contenders are proving that sheer scale isn't the only way to win. This is where efficiency enters the chat.
Okay.
The material highlighted two incredible examples of smaller models punching way above their weight class. First, Chemolinear 48B.
And what did it do?
It outperformed Gemini 3 Pro on a highly specific challenge: long context, multi-needle tasks.
For our listeners, what exactly is a long context multi-needle task, and why is beating a giant like Gemini 3 Pro at it such a big deal?
Think of it like this. You hand the AI a 300-page document, that's the long context, and you ask it to find one tiny obscure fact: the needle.
Okay.
If a model can consistently find that needle, it has superior recall and reasoning over massive data sets. So Chemolinear showing better results means it's more effective at synthesizing huge documents.
Which is vital for legal or research work.
Exactly. And second, look at Zyphra's ZAYA1 MOE model. It's a tiny 760 million parameters.
A fraction of the size of the giants.
A tiny fraction. And it matched or beat much larger models in math and coding. It's a mixture of experts model, so it uses several small, specialized neural networks that work together.
Making it super efficient?
Incredibly resource efficient. It was built on AMD's stack, which is you don't need proprietary hardware for top performance anymore.
And the open field is flexing serious muscle, too.
Yeah. The P1 family of open models achieved International Physics Olympiad Gold performance using only reinforcement learning.
Only reinforcement learning, so it learned through trial and error.
That's right. This wasn't achieved through enormous foundational training. And if you can generate gold medal physics reasoning with a more disciplined approach like that,
it changes the economics for smaller players.
Fundamentally, you can create world-class knowledge engines without spending billions on foundation data.
Okay, so beyond pure benchmarks, we're seeing major feature updates that are just instantly improving developer efficiency. Talk to me about Anthropic's mgrep.
mgrep sounds technical, but it's basically an optimization hack.
A hack?
Yeah, it's a prompt engineering tweak. It's not a new model. It's a smarter way of asking the question. By structuring the query in a specific way, developers found they doubled code analysis speed.
Doubled it.
And halved the token usage.
Yeah.
All while improving quality. It proves that efficiency gains aren't just about bigger chips, they're about smarter communication.
And OpenAI is looking way beyond the developer.
Oh yeah. For creatives, Sora added 6 selectable video prompt styles.
Thanksgiving, vintage, news, selfie.
Comic, anime, it just broadens creative control dramatically.
Yeah.
But their education play is the real market crap.
What do they do there?
Offering verified US K-12 educators free access to ChatGPT 5.1 through 2027.
Wow.
It's a huge strategic move. They are embedding their tools deeply into curriculum planning. By owning that educational vertical early, they are securing a generation of users who will just see their AI as the default tool.
Okay, let's pivot to our second tension point, the ecosystem. The moment a new foundational model drops, the surrounding ecosystem just explodes with specialized tools built on top of it.
It's the shovel sellers during the gold rush.
Exactly.
Only these shovels are digital, and they're immediately impactful. We are seeing incredible specialized tools emerge instantly.
Like Google's Nano Banana Pro.
Yeah, it launched as a free 4K AI photo editor. It can turn a rough sketch into a high-fidelity image with, minimal prompting.
And it converts slide decks into narrated videos. That's pure workflow automation.
And 3D world building is becoming accessible to everyone. WorldGen introduced text to 3D world generation for fast multi-stage environment creation.
Which accelerates everything from game prototyping to architecture.
For sure. And for everyday utility, you've got agents like Glif and Slide Guru browser-based tools that produce polished, customizable slide decks with transitions and voiceover in minutes.
This feeds directly into the move toward agentic automation. The barrier to creating these complex automated AI systems is just dropping dramatically.
It is, and that's the key distinction. We need to be clear. An agent isn't just a scripted bot that follows 3 steps.
Right.
Agentic automation means the AI can autonomously decide the next step, evaluate its own success, retrieve information, and maintain conversational memory.
So how are companies making that accessible to people who, can't code?
LangChain's LangSmith Agent Builder is a great example. It's no-code agent design. It uses guided prompts and built-in memory, so even a business analyst can design complex workflows. It's democratizing it.
But the real enterprise muscle is in agentic coding?
Yes. SynthID upgraded its AI Agent Builder to include full agentic coding.
What does that mean in practice?
It means the AI doesn't just suggest code. It generates production-ready code, it validates it against requirements, and it autonomously tests it.
So it handles the entire development lifecycle internally.
Autonomously, yeah. It skips significant parts of the standard development pipeline, validation, testing, deployment that used to require huge engineering teams. It's a profound shift.
And we saw proof of immediate ROI in the sources.
We did. A customized solution based on the Delphi framework was used to automate vendor and recruiter communications.
Not a glamorous use case.
Not at all. But by handling that high-volume, structured communication, it saved the business hundreds of thousands of dollars in the first quarter. And that is the essential takeaway here.
Yeah.
The biggest returns right now aren't coming from building the next AGI. They're coming from customizing pragmatic, domain-specific agents that automate predictable, high-cost business functions extremely well.
Now we hit the cold reality check. All this performance, all these tools, they come with an almost unimaginable price tag.
And require infrastructure that is pushing global supply chains to their absolute limit.
Let's talk about the cost of compute, starting with a component nobody focuses on: RAM.
The RAM crisis is a direct consequence of this AI race. Soaring demand from the AI giants OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, who need vast amounts of high-speed memory.
For training and inference.
Right. It's causing global RAM shortages. And the consequence:
Price hike.
price hikes exceeding 100% in some segments. Epic Games' CEO has already warned that this threatens to dramatically increase the cost of consumer electronics.
So new laptops, gaming consoles, even 8K TVs.
Yep. The AI giants can simply outbid the consumer market for these critical components. It's fundamentally reshaping global supply chain priorities.
And the scaling costs are just beyond comprehension. HSBC analysts released a shocking figure.
It's staggering.
They warn that OpenAI might require an additional $207 billion
Billion. With a B.
by 2030 just to scale its cloud and compute infrastructure.
That number, $207 billion, is comparable to the annual GDP of small nations. It's not just a race for intelligence. It's a race for capital.
Why so much?
Because every time they release a new, more powerful model, the cost to run that model, the inference cost, for billions of users worldwide skyrockets.
It's not just the training cost.
Not at all. That level of investment requires a global resource commitment.
Which is why we're seeing these massive infrastructure commitments tied to national strategy. Amazon Web Services committed $50 billion by 2026.
Specifically to expand U.S. government cloud capacity, integrating tools from Anthropic and NVIDIA.
And we also saw OpenAI and Foxconn partner up.
Right, to design and produce advanced AI data center equipment right here in the U.S. This is about national resilience, about ensuring domestic control.
Okay, so beyond the cloud, we're seeing a significant push into physical devices. The hardware race.
This is the Sam Altman and Jony Ive collaboration.
The legendary designer.
Yep. They are developing an irresistible consumer AI device. And the commitment is serious. They've recruited over 40 experienced engineers from Apple for this hardware push.
Aiming for a 2026 launch, what do you think irresistible means in practice? A phone replacement.
Given Ive's focus on seamless design, I suspect it will be a device that fundamentally changes how we interact with digital information, moving beyond the screen and app model.
So it'll have specialized AI hardware inside.
I think so, allowing it to perform powerful inference locally, making the AI feel instantaneous and ubiquitous, not just like a cloud service.
And finally, we have to look at the global players. This isn't just a Silicon Valley argument anymore.
Not even close. China is moving incredibly fast. Alibaba's Qin AI app surpassed 10 million downloads in its launch week.
10 million?
In a week, it signals incredibly strong domestic demand and clear global ambitions.
Putting pressure on ChatGPT.
Intense pressure. And internationally, the governance landscape is crystallizing. The EU AI Act takes full effect in August.
Setting global precedents for risk regulation and disclosure.
And governments are moving fast, too. South Korea plans to integrate commercial AI tools into government operations by early 2026. They're moving from testing to core bureaucratic efficiency. But the speed of innovation is fundamentally outrunning the speed of safety and ethical oversight.
Yeah.
And we are seeing some deeply alarming consequences now that these models are so widely deployed.
The crisis reports linked to ChatGPT are. They're genuinely alarming. The sources document links to 50 crisis incidents.
And 3 deaths.
And 3 deaths. It's raising urgent calls for stricter regulation around its role in handling sensitive mental health issues.
It's a high-stakes arena where the models just lack the appropriate emotional guardrails and expertise.
Right.
And the fact that OpenAI's safety leader in that domain, recently departed amid this scrutiny. It just highlights the severity of trying to govern these risks in real time.
This is a societal problem.
It is. It needs far more dedicated attention than the current speed of development allows.
And this vulnerability isn't just personal, is it? It's geopolitical.
Yes. We've moved from theoretical risk to documented reality. Anthropic documented what they're calling the first known AI-driven cyber espionage campaign.
A state-sponsored Chinese group
used Anthropic's Claude Code tool to enhance and target attacks against 30 global organizations.
How was the AI used in the attack? Was it just like a drafting tool?
It was far more sophisticated. The actors leveraged the AI to rapidly generate initial exploit structures, to debug highly complex attack code, and to optimize their evasion tactics against security software.
So it's amplifying the sophistication and speed of these threats.
To a critical new level. It's offering state actors capabilities that were previously restricted to the most advanced human teams.
And the privacy battles are just heating up, focusing entirely on data sourcing.
Yep. Google is currently battling a class action lawsuit over accusations that its Gemini AI accessed private user communications without consent.
Google denied using Gmail data for training, though.
They did. But the public concern remains incredibly high because transparency is lacking. And this scrutiny applies across the board. Meta, Google, LinkedIn. They all face intense criticism for using public user data for training with limited transparency.
With very hard-to-find opt-out options.
Exactly. This is fueling the legislative push in Europe and beyond.
On the mitigation side, however, platforms are starting to fight back against the tidal wave of misinformation.
Right. We are seeing major companies, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, rolling out new features to help users identify AI-generated content.
And limit its presence in feeds.
The shift is finally moving toward transparency and mandatory labeling, aiming to restore some level of trust in the digital information ecosystem.
So if we synthesize everything we've discussed today, the core insight is just pure velocity.
It really is.
The speed of technical innovation, multimodal LLMs, efficient smaller models, agentic tools, it's matched only by the blistering speed of the capital required.
A $207 billion figure.
Right, and the urgency of the ethical risks, whether it's mental health crises or state-sponsored cyber espionage.
And this creates a constant, profound tension between growth and discipline. One of the critiques that popped up in the sources was dubbed the war against slop.
The war against slop.
Yeah, the push for building sharper, more disciplined models versus the temptation of simply scaling faster, scaling larger, and moving on to the next billion-dollar problem.
Often leaving security and ethics in the dust.
Exactly.
So given the constant shifting of benchmarks, the shocking cost of infrastructure, and the very real safety incidents we are now documenting, the question for you, the learner, is critical. Can quality, critical thinking, and disciplined development actually keep pace with this massive, often chaotic, global race for scale?
Or is AI just destined to be defined by who can move the fastest, regardless of the consequences?
That's something worth mulling over this week.